the demand-supply fundamentals in Texas, Florida, North Carolina, even Phoenix are improving dramatically. California, and the driver is that it's so much harder to qualify for a loan. So many new household formations are going to opt out of buying. It's not as wise to buy as it used to be. Your mother might not be saying you have to buy a home. She might be just as happy having you rent. So the math is probably 5% more renters in the population, renter-occupied households. Absorption has been great in Texas. We've absorbed practically all the new construction. The rents are discounted in the highest in rental markets. There's still a pretty good concession in the marketplace, but they've all absorbed. So the potential for rent increase is evolving. In the suburban markets where the home purchasers are high-end renter households that were opting to go buy a house and now aren't opting to go buy a house, those suburban households are now renting, and they're renting bigger units. So the new trend is that bigger units are renting. 3 bedrooms are renting. 2-bedroom dens. Townhomes are renting. Garages across the state are full in apartment complexes. Direct access garages are starting to get a bigger premium than they had in the last couple of years. In the South, we absorbed a couple of 100,000 new apartments in the last 4 years. And many of the better markets, the folklore was to build urban apartments with a dramatic amount of ones. And that was given that all the higher-end households that were urban were buying. Now the higher-end households that are urban are not buying, and they're renting higher-end units, bigger units. So the demand for ones is lower than it was in 2007 and 2006. The demand for ones was really high. Now the demand, and because the demand was so high, everybody was building ones. They were absorbing them fast, and there was a rent premium, a big rent premium between the statistical average of a unit, 1 bedroom, and the units getting the best rents. Now those premiums are accelerating in the bigger unit types because those households are not forming in for sale housing. They're staying in the renter housing, and they're consuming a higher end unit, a bigger unit. So the demand for the 2-bedroom and the 2-bedroom den or the townhome and the 3-bedroom, those are all going up. So we're evolving back to the 90s. In a market like Dallas-Fort Worth, we closed about 100,000 houses a year last decade. In the prior decade, we were only closing about 50,000 houses a year. The only thing that changed between those 2 decades was some in-migration, some population growth, but what really changed is the underwriting for homes were so poor that anybody could qualify. So many more for sale homes were closed, were sold. That we're going back to a 90s environment where there is going to be a renter that is a longer term renter. We were trying to call him a renter by choice.